Welcome to Colorful Anime, where we talk about anime from a colorful perspective. I'm your host, Lance. Got some great friends with me. I got Chris.
Hi.
Jordan. He back.
I'm back. I'm alive.
Right? He's alive. And behind the camera, Malcolm.
Hello.
Zordon in the flesh. Y'all watch Power Rangers? Like a lot.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember the one? Was that the movie where Zordon came out of the joint?
Oh yeah.
I was so disappointed. Like, I was like, I thought he was like big.
Have y'all seen the College Humor skit that talks about Zordon being a racist?
No.
Because of how he named the
Because the
Rangers.
colors.
Oh, that's funny.
The Indian guy was the Red Ranger, the Asian girl was the Yellow Ranger, the black dude was the Black Ranger.
Yeah.
That's
Actually, the black person, the black guy was either black or Asian too. Y'all remember the Asian?
Yeah, the same with the
Yellow
girl.
Ranger or the Yellow Ranger.
Yellow Ranger.
Is either black or Asian?
Yeah.
I was like, just the same. Just swap them out. Yeah, nobody will know.
Like person of color.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right.
They'll never know. So, dude, check us out on all our little platforms. I didn't put this out there for you, my bad. Check them out. Check us out everywhere under DCFA Podcast. Malcolm doesn't like that, but DCFA Podcast, and that's on Instagram. That's on. So what?
Huh?
You know that, like, when we play this back, they can hear you talking while I talk.
Yeah.
So we gonna hear it anyway. So, but anyway, speaking of, and also become a patron because support small black businesses. Look, Black History Month is over, but Women's History Month is here. And we have a woman here making history, and y'all need to support her. That's not exploiting, is it? That probably is exploiting. So, Chris, tell us about our Patreon, our patrons. What can they get?
Our patrons, we've got a couple of tiers for you, physical tiers. The first one is monochrome.
Ooh.
You know, you're living grayscale. You know, you're giving, black and white. And so in that one, you get the full video version of the podcast, if you're listening. Then there is Technicolor. What we've established is, we said TV in the 70s, but it's 60s, actually. So, you're cool, like TV
You're supposed
in the
to
late
sell
60s.
this to the audience, right?
Right.
Sell it to them.
Technicolor. So in Technicolor, you've got, our reading and watching segment.
Yep.
So you can hear all about what we're into, at the moment. Then, what's that? Oh, yeah. Colorful people. I almost said colored people. Then there's our colorful people.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right, scale. And those are, the people that are going to pay a whopping $20 a month to
real
support
MVPs.
us. And so when we do get someone, that feels so inclined, we'll do a monthly Ask Us Anything. You can ask us absolutely anything. We will live stream and answer all of your burning questions, burning like an STI. And then, you'll also get a Colored Folk and Anime mug.
Hey.
So it's, going to be a little mug. Again, don't have it physically.
Yes.
And so you'll also get one of those mugs for the first
That's
month.
the first
Yes.
place. That's the only place you can get merch from us right now.
Yeah, facts. That's facts. And you want to be on the ground floor, don't miss this opportunity to be a partner, a founding father, mother.
You're going to go on the Mount Rushmore of our
facts. Yes. You're going to be the one that, if we're doing hangouts and stuff like that, you're going to be the first one to get the invite. People that's not on there, you'll get an invite later, but you're not going to be the first one because the patrons.
Except for some of y'all live out in California. So sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife and I are in California a couple times a year, so I'll hang out with you.
Right. Facts. All it say is our patrons are the folks that we care about. We care about everybody. But the people that put their money where their mouth is to say, hey, we love y'all. Like, for real, we appreciate y'all. No doubt. And you can join the conversation. We're on Discord. We're in Facebook. Our Facebook group is popping full of memes and all sorts of stuff. Jordan, why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so like Lance said, we have our Discord channel, we have a Facebook page, Instagram page. So there's a lot of different ways you can connect with us. Instagram, you can hit us up. We post clips for upcoming episodes. We post little teasers on our Discord.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about the Discord because
Yeah.
the genuine question: what are you currently talking about the Discord?
Yeah. So, what was the last thing we were talking about? I don't know. We're always
There's
arguing
a couple of new people joined. And
yeah, we had a bunch of new folks join. You're awesome. Oh yeah, we were talking about fairy tales, right? So yes, we had a bunch of new folks join the fairy tale.
Join the fairy tale.
Join our Discord. We had a bunch of new folks join our Discord. So we're always talking about something, whether it's debating Digimon or
Digital monsters.
Yeah. Or getting into philosophical conversations about anime characters, or whether it's just kind of just shooting the shit. So we talk about video games, talk about everything in there. So if you want to connect with us, that's probably the best place. Chris and I are very regular in there. Lance be poking his head in there sometimes.
Facts.
Malcolm only comes in when I say something wild.
Yeah, or when he wants to talk about JoJo's.
I keep my little sister in check. She's she has issues.
Yeah. I hope people know, like, y'all, the long-time listeners know y'all actually related, but like somebody that never watched this, they be like, they got a weird thing.
We did get
on.
that. I think they asked us that when we were in Kansas City.
Oh, speaking of that, I'll let you get back. When you said it's giving, it reminded me of Hash Bros making fun of that. Like it's giving, it's giving everything right now.
That was so random too. He was like, "It's giving," and we were like, "Wait, what?"
Wasn't that giving?
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, hit us up on Discord. It's a great place to chat with us. Get involved in the conversation. For those of you that aren't necessarily in our Patreon yet, I say yet. That is the place to find out what we're reading and watching right now because we talk about it regularly. And our Facebook page, again, like Lance said, lots of memes, lots of fun happening. We do occasionally also post like polls for folks that want to get involved with like suggesting topics, stuff like that. So if you guys want to connect with us, those are really good ways to connect with us. Yeah,
and all of those links, thecfapodcast.com. You see how easier that is to say, Michael? thecfapodcast.com. All of those links for Patreon, for Facebook, for Discord, all of that stuff is on there. Don't miss it. Let's talk about it. We here. The Batman. Well, it'll be out by the time anybody sees this. And actually, you'll probably be listening to this the day after you watched it. But we're still going to talk about it as people are going to be going to the theaters to watch it. The new Batman movie, starring Robert Pattinson.
Yep.
Is the vampire.
As Bruce Wayne.
Vampires do turn into
as
bats.
Bruce Wayne.
That's true.
And also Zoe Kravitz as well, who is also, and then Paul Dano, who are also kind of like big
whose
names.
dad looks like the Joker from the new Batman cartoon where he got dreads.
What?
Oh.
Joker has dreads in the new cartoon?
In the one newer, which Batman cartoon was it? Joker had dreads.
I don't know.
What?
Yeah. There's a Joker with dreadlocks.
Joker
so
inside in touch with his hotep side?
IGN has come out with I ain't gonna lie, and even Rotten Tomatoes, I ain't gonna lie, critics have come out early and they're saying that this is the one.
Yeah,
this is the best Batman movie to ever come out.
It looks like it's gonna be.
I'm not gonna lie. The hype is real. I'm
gonna read the end of this IGN joint that ranked it 10 out of 10 as a classic.
Okay.
Never seen that. But let me read it. This is the IGN article that ranked it as a classic before it even came out in theaters. The Batman is a gripping, gorgeous, and at times genuinely scary psychological crime thriller. What in the world? That gives Bruce Wayne the grounded detective story he deserves. Robert Pattinson is a very broken Batman, but it's Zoe Kravitz and Paul Dano who steal the show with a movingly layered Selina Kyle Catwoman and a terrifyingly unhinged Riddler. Writer and director Matt Reeves managed to make a Batman movie that's entirely different from the others in live-action canon, yet surprisingly loyal to the Gotham lore as a whole. Ultimately, it's one that thoroughly earns its place in this iconic character's legacy. All right, with all of that, let's talk about this. Before we even get to this movie,
Sound like you hating a little bit, Lance.
I'm just skeptical.
He doesn't like Batman.
That's not true.
I heard
Because we're going to talk about it right now. So, Batman, we're going to talk about, before we get to talking about that review, what we've heard about the new movie and all that stuff, I wanted to do a deep dive into the catalog and talk about Batman movies. So I sent y'all, I realized the links were weird, but...
Oh, I've seen them all. I know them all.
Let's go around. What is your
Wait, are we
favorite?
counting Batman like there's just
Only
movies?
Only movies, because we're comparing just
not animated movies.
Yeah, not even animated movies, because they're still part of the animated universe. That's not count. Okay. So, what is your favorite?
Because then I was gonna be like, fuck it.
What is your favorite Batman live action movie?
I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be real. I haven't really. Past like Christian Bale's Batman, I haven't really watched a whole lot of the older ones.
You ain't never seen George Clooney as Batman?
I have.
The Freeze?
Yeah, see that one I do, because with
Batman
Arnold,
Forever is a classic.
Yeah, so that one, that one,
so
I've seen a couple of the older ones, but like I don't think I ever saw any of the Michael Keaton ones.
That was a good.
I don't think I ever saw anything pre George Clooney, Michael Keaton era. Because I was never really into comic books stuff as a kid much, and like unless it was Spider-Man, then I was all about it. But so like I never really got into Batman much. Like Batman is my favorite DC hero, but I really wasn't invested in Batman until Christian Bale, and probably the best one. And I forget which of the trilogy it is. The one that's got Heath Ledger as the Joker. Is that the first one?
That's the second one.
That's the second one.
That one's my favorite.
The Nolan. Yeah, the Christopher Nolan trilogy.
I actually really like the first one of the trilogy for that one.
Oh, Batman Begins?
I like Joker in The Dark Knight, and then I like Batman Begins as a movie.
The origin story on that one is amazing.
I didn't like Ra's al Ghul.
Now, Ra's al Ghul was ass. But
yeah.
I did like Scarecrow.
The build up for that was not...
Yeah. Scarecrow is very interesting in the movie,
Yeah.
which is why I'm so excited about the Riddler in this one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The Riddler's... the last time they did the Riddler was a long
Jim
time
Carrey.
ago.
Jim Carrey. But that was in...
Was it late 90s or 2000s?
It was late 90s.
Mid 90s.
Was it?
Yeah.
Like
that was right before Clooney.
96, 90, it was 97, I think.
Yeah, it was right before. That's Michael Keaton, right?
No, 97 is...
Oh, no, that's Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer. I was just going to say that.
Val Kilmer.
Which wasn't my favorite Batman, but definitely my favorite villains.
What, Riddler?
Yeah, and that one.
Oh, you liked it? Riddler was entertaining.
I like Jim Carrey. Like as like
he just gave me like really like Green Mask vibes.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's why it came out around that almost around that time within a couple years.
That's so. There's in Liar Liar. There's a scene like for the bloopers or whatever at the end where where someone calls him like a hack. That's like he does the same bit like for every role he plays. Anyway, sorry. That's what it reminds me of. Because it's like,
get him paid.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, but I think he was one of the few redeeming things about that Val Kilmer movie. Not that I hated it. It's just I really liked it a lot.
I didn't mind Val.
That was the one with the good Poison Ivy too.
No, that was George Clooney was Poison Ivy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With the terrible,
the
terrible thing.
Yeah, I did.
She
not
was,
with the rubber lips.
Right, not the best characterization of Poison Ivy, but as a child, I enjoyed her.
She was.
I did not like that.
Yeah, she was Poison Ivy and George Clooney.
Yeah, I did not like
that
Batman
movie's
Forever.
So nostalgic.
That's all it is. Because when you look at that movie, and you look at Goofy Bane, you look at Goofy Freeze.
He was pretty goofy.
It's like, this is Bane, this is what's going on.
But I think that it's like, for me, Batman Forever has the same charm as the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies do. Because it retains some of the camp from like the classic television shows.
It overdoes the camp.
Overdoes the camp. But the old school television show, Eartha Kitt's Catwoman
was great.
But she's camp.
But she's good camp.
Okay.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is not good Kent.
He was not at all.
But no,
Uma Thurman was okay Kent.
I thought she was good Kent.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was not.
Was good Kent.
Nah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was strange anyway, and it was like at the time he was still like the Terminator, like that was who he was. So like to see him doing a more comedic role at that moment,
No,
like
he
that,
was already doing comedy.
he was, but like not like that,
Yes,
not
he was.
superhero, not that, not
Last Action
Mr.
Hero.
Freeze.
Yeah.
Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, he did do
Cop,
Kindergarten
yeah.
Cop.
Junior. Twins.
Was Junior at that time?
Junior Twins, Kindergarten Cop. That's like 93-ish.
But that's right before
been 2 years.
that movie, though.
That's a couple years before the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 years.
So he
Yeah.
was already
with
doing
this too. With that
Junior,
with that movie.
Pregnant Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I do not remember that movie at all.
This might be a reach. I just want to bring this up because George Clooney's character as Batman is it's a lot like Iron Man than it is like true to Batman.
Kind of like the Playboy kind of.
That's what it. That's more
But that's
what it is.
That's what it's supposed to be. Though.
Yeah, that's who Bruce Wayne is.
But he's not. That's not what. And Christopher Nolan's Batman. That's not who he is.
But
But
those
that's
are
not
origin.
Batman,
Those are
though.
origin stories, though. You see in the other Christopher Nolans that he played that role a little more instead of just being always Batman. He did like when he did with the girls was playing in the fountain. He's like, well, you can't do that here. He's like, well, I just bought it so I can do what I want.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like,
that's
he
what I'm
turned
saying.
into
That's
that
not
guy,
the same. But like, I don't know. I feel like George Clooney, who I didn't hate, I just think the story's goofy. But I feel like his Batman wasn't really memorable, and it was all about like the comedic quips.
Well,
and I don't remember Batman being funny at all.
The Riddler one and the Kilmer one, but more the George Clooney one are supposed to go back to the Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
That was the point,
yeah.
to be Adam West Batman. Some people didn't like it because my favorite Batman is 1989 Batman.
Ooh.
The Keaton, first Keaton.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Still,
That was like the first serious
Was
Batman.
that the one with the...
still the best Joker.
no,
Yeah, turn
Yeah, with the rubber suit, he got turned on the body.
Jack Nicholson as Joker.
Best
Yeah.
Joker still.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's still
Oh,
the
He set the bar actually first.
Jack Nicholson.
He is the bar.
Obviously, we talk about Heath Ledger, but he set the bar.
Sheesh.
He is the bar.
It's for
And
me,
it was
him.
directed by Tim Burton. I totally
Yeah,
forgot
Tim Burton
about
did the
that.
first
That's-
It's him,
Yeah.
and then Joaquin Phoenix, and then Heath Ledger.
I'm not putting Joaquin Phoenix over Heath Ledger.
I
know he got his own movie
That's a hot
and all.
take.
Yeah.
No,
I don't.
let's talk about it. Let's argue it
I
out.
am.
I might agree.
You know why I'm gonna disagree?
agree?
You know why
I
I'm
might
going to
agree.
disagree? My argument is that Heath Ledger, in less screen time, did more than Joaquin
I
Phoenix was able to
highly
do.
disagree
I
with
definitely
that.
disagree with that.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god. The film lover in me is crying.
First of all, okay.
Joker is
Do
just
you
as
think that
good.
Joaquin Phoenix could have did what Heath Ledger did
Yes.
in The Dark Knight with that amount of time? Because
yes.
the Joker movie, we have to follow him all the way through the movie to kind of get to
That's the point of an origin story.
exactly. But that don't mean you can do that with way less.
You talking about
time.
as an actor?
As an actor.
As an
Yes.
actor, hell yeah.
They weren't even the same
he's-
kind of Joker.
No. Joaquin Phoenix as an actor is leaps and bounds better actor
Relax.
than Heath Ledger.
Relax.
Just as an
Dark
actor.
Knight.
getting-
Dark Knight
just
was the
getting
first movie
blasphemous.
when people were like, "Oh, Heath Ledger can act." That was the
'cause
first
before
movie.
that, Heath Ledger wasn't doing shit.
Before that, he was just a pretty
Heath
boy.
Ledger's-
But seriously,
That was the first
Dark Knight
movie
was
that
the
we
first
made
movie
up.
when people were like,
bro, come on.
that was the first people was like, "Oh, this dude, he
Right,
can
because he
actually
was doing
act."
romantic comedies before.
He was the
doing
pretty
that.
boy. He wasn't doing any real roles. That
And
was his
people were
first
like,
real
"Oh,
role.
he transformed everything."
Exactly.
That was
That's fine.
right. That was the first
That don't
time
make
that
him-
he ever was
That
like,
don't
oh
make
shit,
Phoenix
it's an
better.
actor.
That don't make
No,
Phoenix better.
Joaquin Phoenix is just an excellent actor. Period.
Sure, that's fine,
In
but he
everything-
could not do
No,
what
no, no.
Heath Ledger
No,
did
no, no.
in
Yes,
that
he
movie.
could.
Yes, he could
No, he
because
couldn't.
Joaquin
Wait, you
Phoenix
telling
is just
you
outclasses
telling me
him as
No,
an
he
actor.
couldn't because
You
no,
telling me
no.
the last 30 minutes of the Joker movie doesn't match up with Dark Knight?
What I'm telling you.
No,
is
answer the
that-
question.
No, what I'm telling you is since I started the conversation anyway. What I'm telling you is that there's no way that there's different kinds of unhinged Jokers that we got going on here, and I don't think Joaquin Phoenix lives up to this maniacal, big planning, terrorist Joker that
But I think
Heath
that has
Ledger
to
lived
do.
up to.
I think that has to do with really the core of the Joker movie that Joaquin Phoenix did.
Sure.
Is that one of the things that in the live action depictions of Joker that they've never really gotten right is that Joker himself is insane. All
Yeah,
the
of course.
other ones make him out to be almost Lex Luthor-ish in that he's this like mastermind coming up with these diabolical plans and like tricking people. They mix the Joker with the Riddler in a lot of ways. And so you see that a lot in The Dark Knight, is that the characterization that they do of the Joker is a combination of the Riddler and the Joker. That's not a pure Joker. And Joker's a joke guy. He's all about the punchline. So all of his plans are about the punchline at the end. In The Dark Knight, he goes way Riddler in that he's creating puzzles for Batman to solve in order to save people. That's Riddler's shtick. That's not a Joker thing. Joker's all about the punchline. And so if you liked The Dark Knight, you'll probably love the Riddler in this film. But that's not Joker. That is the essence of Joker is not in The Dark Knight. So when you're talking about Joker,
I think
Yeah.
my gripe with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is I don't see him being able to go toe to toe with a Batman.
but the reason why he can go toe to toe with Batman is because he's insane. His
but-
insanity gives him the edge.
Yeah, but
Because he
that's
doesn't do what makes sense.
But I don't see Joaquin Phoenix's crackhead Joker being able to take a punch from an actual Batman.
No
You call him
Joker.
drug-
No
Yeah, no
Joker.
Joker could.
Yeah.
No Joker could
Yeah.
take a punch.
That's not Joker's thing. He's
Right.
not strong. Joker's not strong.
But the
Joker's
Joker is,
not-
but the Joker. See, and I know I get your case with the Riddler Joker mix, but when I look, and now I know we're not talking about it. When I look at the Joker on the animated series, he's still clever.
Yeah.
There's
But
still
it's still the joke.
It's about the joke, though.
true,
but it's only
clever.
about the joke.
Not Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is what I'm saying.
But-
I don't see how you develop into.
He's
my
a
joke is
comedian.
now
He's a
the
comedian, yeah.
sure, but your jokes do not land Batman in compromising situations. Is what I'm saying.
He
That's
has
not
no
even what the
Batman to
origin
play
story.
against.
What?
He has no Batman to play against yet.
Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is that nothing in that story will lead him up until that point to be able to
I
play against
disagree.
him.
Yeah, that's definitely disagree. I definitely disagree with that.
At what point in that Joaquin Phoenix movie did you say, "Man, this guy is gonna really be able to take on Batman at some
At the
point"?
But
end.
right at the
When?
end. But that's not the point of the Joker, though. So one of the things that the Joker is known for is like his henchmen. All of his henchmen are like Arkham Asylum people.
Yep, for sure.
They're all
For sure.
mentally insane. Now, the difference between Joaquin Phoenix's Joker that I feel like they get maybe more right than the Dark Knight does is that in the Dark Knight, Joker is exploitative of the mentally ill people that he uses. He's using them as pawns in a game. They're expendable. Real Joker, they're
has a
his
cult following.
peers.
He has a cult
All
following.
those people are in, they're like, we're in on the big joke. Batman's the big joke. This guy that thinks that he can save the world without ever like spilling any real blood or whatever. Like, we're all playing a massive joke on Batman, and they're all in on it. And so they all take part in putting on these jokes together. You know what I mean? So in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, he does a better job of it being like everybody's on the same page here. Whereas instead of him being like a mastermind, because Joker's not really a mastermind, and I think the way that people think of him now because of Heath Ledger.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've presented all our evidence, and if you're watching,
It doesn't matter. Jack Nicholson is the best Joker.
He does not lie.
If you're watching, Jack Nicholson was great.
No, he
but
is.
If you're watching this, let us know who did you think the best Joker was. And as we talk about the best Batman movie, let's get into this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the conversation at hand. Do y'all actually? Let me make sure I stick to the script because these are some very important things to cover. Do y'all think that, or first of all, why is this movie so hyped? There's been a ton of Batman movies that exist over time.
It sounds like it's actually really good.
Because
does that mean all the rest of them are really bad?
No,
the rest of them are comic book movies.
Yeah,
this one,
yeah.
Batman's moniker is the world's greatest detective, and it sounds like this one is actually diving into him being a detective, and it's going to be more mental.
Right.
I heard it described
Although he does do that
as Christopher Nolan Batman mixed with Seven. That's how I've heard it described.
Ooh, that sounds good.
So
that sounds good.
It's going to be more psychological, which is part of who Batman is. Like, he's supposed to be a mastermind, and if it's just going back and forth,
the perfect villain to frame that.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, and that's the Riddler's thing is like.
Yeah,
I'm going to match wits. With Batman.
Yeah.
So they still need to do a Batman origin, like for his training and stuff.
Where he's like training with.
Well, this one's still supposed to be him like.
This is like year 2 or 3. It's not first year, but it's like year like 2 or 3.
Batman.
Yeah, it's early Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hyped for it since they announced Robert Pattinson was gonna be Batman.
Yeah, when they did the Robert Pattinson Zoe Kravitz thing, I was like, "Ooh, this."
Did y'all
hold on,
wait, real quick, before I'm gonna let you? Did y'all know this dude was British?
Yeah.
Y'all knew that the whole time.
Yes.
Bro,
Man,
all I'm like, this dude is
British that you didn't even know.
These fake Americans these are fake Americans out here, bro. They taking all our roles. What's going on?
Andrew Garfield,
all of them.
All these dudes.
My man, who.
Benedict Cumberbatch, British.
Christopher Nolan Batman, what's his name? Christian Bale,
British.
What?
All these niggas British, bro.
Shout out to y'all, I guess. Sorry, go ahead.
I guess.
They take it back over.
Yeah. Sorry,
British invasion.
They're like, how you niggas thought it was over with the T,
right?
Yeah, British invasion. Yeah, since the Beatles.
But no, I was really excited for what they would do with this movie when they announced Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman.
Yeah.
Because obviously, when you think Batman, you don't think like kind of like the pretty boy vibe that Robert Pattinson gave off when he first started.
Right.
When he was like Twilight, though.
Batman
no.
Bruce Wayne is a pretty boy.
Bruce Wayne,
as much.
but the same way you talk about. So the way y'all talk about Joker is the way that I've always seen Batman. So I've always seen Batman as this, like I said it before in another episode, this post-traumatic stress driven, mentally
his
ill.
trauma is from when he's a child.
Right, but what I'm saying is that doesn't go away. His trauma hasn't gone away. He hasn't went through.
What's that got to do with him being a pretty boy?
Right. He's not this like angsty like person that like the Christian Bale movie. Like he's bitter, sure, but he's not like he's not
what I said last time is that would probably lead you to like almost like depression, not in a typical way, but of like suppressing all of your emotions in a way and
but you gotta remember
as a different character.
He's gone through like extreme training. He's like the most trained human being on the planet.
Yeah,
so he's
I was like, I've never met someone that was like trained to kill that isn't like absolutely hilarious. Like that's not super charming. Yeah. Like people that are trained to kill, like people that are like, yeah, I could kill you in like one little touch. Yeah. Like those people are usually super jovial and like very lighthearted and very like Casanova-esque. Like in real life, that's how those people are. And in the comic book, Batman is very much kind of that way. When he's working, and he knows he's got to be dark and brooding because that scares the bad guys.
I think,
but the reality of who he is a playboy that don't give a fuck.
I think we're not ruined it for me. What really set the tone for Batman for me was really more of the Justice League centered.
Oh,
Batman.
not even the animated series Batman. That was the best
animated.
Bruce
I mean,
Wayne.
all of them are fire, but I think what I like is all of those heroes are jovial and stuff like that. They're optimistic. He's like. So right, he's like
he's realistic. I mean, that's who Batman is, but he's not. I mean, he's not bright-eyed, bushy-tailed like Flash and all that.
Yeah.
But the animated series Batman was the best one because they played it like Batman is who he is and Bruce Wayne is the second. Like even in his voice, whenever he was talking regular, he sounded like Batman.
Yeah.
But when he was Bruce Wayne, he changed his voice and all that. Yeah. Like that's the best Batman role. And I think that's kind of that would play into like your trauma thing. Like that's who he became. He became this. Yeah. You know, straight ahead planning thing.
Like what feels more true to character is that both are who he actually is. Yeah, Not that I neither versions of him are a role.
Sure.
It's just who he is. The idea of like
it's not Superman. He's not
right. He's not. He doesn't
Superman.
have right. He is Bruce Wayne and he is Batman. So he is both dark and brooding and damaged, and also a Casanova pretty boy, playboy.
So you don't think that is that?
That's
you don't
why
think
I think
that
Robert
indicates
Pattinson is going to be great for it.
Sure, but you don't think that those two people in one, that don't like indicate anything being wrong with him.
No, I didn't.
The guy, the fact that this guy's gonna drop 20 tones.
I didn't say that, but I think that
now talk,
I think
and then all of a sudden, I got your girl. Like that's those are two different people, bro.
I think the idea is that when you
but that's everybody though.
Right, when you do go through,
that's everybody though.
Right,
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
No, I've been Mr. Beat Your Ass and then Steal Your Girl.
Then Steal Your Girl.
No, I think that when especially when you're dealing with like real trauma or whatever, especially when it's trauma from like your childhood, you learn to, and this isn't in the right context, but almost like code switch. Yeah. And so me being lighthearted and jokey and or Casanova-y or whatever in this moment isn't any less me than the dark and brooding, traumatized version of me either. Like they're both me. And so when you grow up with deep trauma, you learn to kind of exist in that realm of duality. Yeah, that's good. So I like the idea of Robert Pattinson for that reason because I think he does both very well, and that's something that Batman in all of the movies preceding has had a struggle being both people. They've always done one or the other really well, and the other one not great.
Can we talk about and this will go on to like my other question of will this live up to the hype? But like Zoe Kravitz.
I'm so excited. Sorry.
I don't know, man. I watched this show. She did. I watched one episode of that.
Oh, you only watched one episode of it
because it was bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It was really bad.
What?
Yeah, and I don't hate Zoe Kravitz. I'm just saying that like, what? It got canceled. What are you talking about? It got validation because it was canceled. Right, but it was bad. That's why I got canceled. The viewership is the reason that it got canceled, not because.
Well, it's on Hulu too. Yeah, the advertising for it was shit.
Yeah. No, okay. I never heard of it, so I mean that just goes.
All I have to say is I think I'm interested to see what she does in a role like this. This ain't her first big role, but it's her first like important, I would say, role.
I feel like it's kind of her first big role.
I'd say it's like her first like blockbuster.
That's what I was going to say. It's more I'm a little skeptical.
I think the reason why I think she'll do a good job is because for this, it's gonna feel like she's playing herself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
She's gonna be playing a version of herself, and so it'll feel natural on her.
Yeah, I mean you watched the whole.
Yeah, I mean I haven't really seen her much, so I would.
Because she tries to be a little bit more.
I feel like she looks the part really well. I feel like she like looks the part.
Yeah.
Which. I mean, that's half the battle of looking the part.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I feel like she looks the part, so I mean, I don't have any negative connotations. Positive, so.
I mean, all you do really is just compare to other cat women, and that's not really that hard on live action.
It's only been like 4.
Right, yeah. And they've all been mid.
Have
they all been mid?
Michelle Pfeiffer,
of course.
Yeah.
Eartha Kitt is top shelf.
Yeah. Eartha Kitt and Michelle Pfeiffer were really good Catwoman.
Yeah.
And Hathaway.
barely there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah, and I think part of it was because of because of the movie she was dealing with. But they did not write her well. I don't think that Anne Hathaway embodies that role very well either. But she was also written horribly. So
Yeah, they didn't do it on
I don't know
favors.
that she had much of a shot to doing a good job.
All I could think about when I saw her was Princess Diaries, and I was like,
Yeah, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. There is a movie, a rom-com. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. So let's talk about it. Will this movie live up to the hype? It's called a classic. Will it be the best Batman movie?
Well, yeah, I mean they're writing that review after having seen it.
Second best.
I don't. It's
89 for
I don't really. I don't
forever.
trust critics.
You
but
don't trust? Well, okay.
I don't trust her exactly.
I'm also like
Yeah.
I love like movie film stuff, right? So like for me,
I think this is
I
the
like-
closest thing
I
to
like
an actual
critics.
film.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Straw Hat
I think
Goofy.
So you
critics
think
could
this would be like
expand
one of the
their
first
horizons,
comic book
but
movies
I
that
like
could be
critics.
nominated for awards?
Yeah, Straw Hat Goofy
Well,
gives
not
it
the
that
first.
same.
Not the first.
But yeah, like I think that we're gonna go back and say Joker, Logan, and this Batman.
Yeah.
Do you think this changes old boy's mind? What's the
Who?
guy that made these movies?
No, absolutely not. No.
You know who I'm talking about?
Who's
Yeah.
Scorsese?
Scorsese and the other guy.
And the one that did The Last Duel,
Oh, I
That-
forgot his name.
Ridley. No.
Ridley. Yeah, it is
Ridley
Ridley
Scott.
Scott. Yeah, Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
No, that's not gonna change
No.
my mind.
No.
Cause I mean,
It's still a fantastical story.
Yeah, his hating ass talking
It's
about
not-
doing, like comic book movies. So.
And
Right,
it's not
right.
even
Superhero movies.
because they don't like
Think about
fantasy
that life.
film either.
Right.
yeah.
So like that fantasy comic books, stuff like that. It hasn't reached. I think this film is probably going to give it more of that, where because the director talks about really wanting to ground it as much as you can in a superhero movie, but
Yeah.
trying
Well,
to
Batman
ground
is the only
it.
one you can really ground.
That's
Right.
True. He doesn't have any
So,
fantastical powers.
I'm
No.
like between Logan did a
Just
really
the power
good
of
job
prep
of
time.
doing
Yeah.
that.
This nigga superpowers giving out hands.
Power of prep time.
Give me
Now
30
talk.
minutes. I'll be back. Right?
Yeah. No, so
I'm
I
gonna
think
have
that
the right poison for you.
I think that this it pushes the needle.
Yeah.
If it's as good as they say it will, I feel like it'll push the needle.
Yeah.
So then it can only comic book films like this though, not comic book films.
Like
in
the
general.
thing is
It's
that
short
comic,
list.
Still
Super
the thing is
short
that
list.
comic
have an
books,
award.
Yeah.
actual comic book stories lend themselves to being like that, being super deep,
Yeah.
like and
Well,
stuff
DC
like that.
in
Like
particular,
yeah,
I feel like
especially DC.
DC got the better. Well, DC got the better stories.
they tried to do that with the DC.
Nah,
Well,
They
it's
should
funny,
not have
DC got
done
the
it
better
how they did.
stories.
DC's always had the better stories. They just
Only
never know how to
Batman
tell
has
them.
the best stories in DC.
I mean,
Batman has the
So-
only good story in DC.
Wonder Woman has a good.
Wonder Woman has a terrible story.
Her
Says the
actual
story.
story.
She was made out of clay and
Yeah.
blessed by a god. Oh,
Superman didn't have a bad story.
Superman is an
Goku.
alien.
And that's okay. That's
Yeah, but
fine.
that's not a good
Superman is
story.
Goku.
though.
That's what.
Well, Superman came first, so Goku's Superman.
Ooh.
Nah.
Anyways, all I have to say is I think like
Effective.
I agree with what you're saying. Is I think that these kinds of movies, they should be able to go a little bit deeper.
But even think about like a Hulk movie. The existential crisis of basically
They tried.
You said with
Hulk.
what?
they try like think about like doing a Hulk movie. Like you can have
Oh,
it could be a deep psychological like movie about personal struggle,
Yeah.
but ain't nobody going to
You
a
know what
Hulk
else
movie to
I
see
think?
that.
But
So they
I
need
think
to knocking over buildings and everything.
yeah.
I think that the reason why, because they did try that, because even with the actor that they got, I think that they could have accomplished it maybe even better than they did. But because they had a bigger picture in mind, the
Yeah,
whole
that's
Marvel movie
That almost
spiel,
ruined
it
everything.
ruins
Yeah.
that. That's what's beautiful about this is that it's not trying to be a part of a bigger universe. It's not trying to pull
It's
any
just
other
shouldn't.
superheroes in or anything like
Well,
that. It's
yeah.
just Batman. And they said that even in the near future that they're not planning on bringing in Superman, nothing
But
like that.
yeah,
they are going to
Batman's
branch that
got
out into
enough of this
TV and
shit.
stuff.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
but
but
that
was
series and stuff. Like,
but that actually makes sense. But that's actually kind of cool.
I mean, they've already been teasing with like DC's trailers for this year. They've already been teasing like a universe.
Right, but this Batman.
Well, not that Batman though, because they're gonna do like Elseworld stories, like the Joker, this Batman. They're gonna have things outside of whatever they're trying to. These
characters are not a part of that universe.
Yeah, which I think, and again, I think that's what will. I think the whole multiverse universe. We talked about this once too. I think it's hot take. I like it, but it's ruined. It's ruined comic book movies. It's ruining. I don't know if it's ruined all the way.
Film is not.
I don't agree with that.
Again, what I'm saying is this movie exists. The Joker, Joaquin Phoenix exists. Mm-hmm. All of these different iterations of Batman exist because they don't have to stick to one specific universe.
But it's also when DC trying to throw shit against the wall and see what sticks too.
That's true.
Maybe, but all of those iterations were good. Like all of them are good. It's not like
what are good.
That Joker movie. This one apparently. This movie.
That's two.
The previous Batman movie before that. So everything that they've done.
Wait. Do you know what the previous Batman movie was?
You talking about Batman vs Superman?
That was the one before.
Yeah. I'm talking about the actual Batman. I'm not talking about that. Don't count.
What you say?
That does not count.
Because you're using all your nerd cred.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying. It's like because of
garbage.
But with that, again, that's what happens when you got to stick to the cinematic universe, which works for a bit of time, and then it has an expiration date that I think nobody wants to recognize. Otherwise, they lose money.
I think that's why James Gunn's movies work so well.
Yes.
So James Gunn's movies exist within those separate universes. Both Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy exist in larger universes that exist outside of those characters.
What? They're actually really funny too.
Oh no, sorry, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. The Suicide Squad.
I've seen the first one that I didn't like, but I heard
the second one is
I haven't
great.
seen
The second one's fucking great.
The second one's on HBO Max.
I'm not gonna lie, I really have watched probably less than half of the DC movies that have come out in the last 10 years.
Really?
I mean,
because DC, I just don't really care. Like I've seen too many DC movies that I didn't like for me to really care. Like Wonder Woman.
Didn't stop.
The first Wonder Woman?
The first one was alright. The second
one was good. The first Wonder Woman was really good.
No.
I mean,
the first Wonder Woman is the best DC movie.
That might be the best DC movie.
Nah, I don't like it.
The first Wonder Woman.
The best DC movie.
What's better?
Wonder Woman?
It's top two.
What's better?
Yeah.
What's better?
For me, it's not what's better. It's just that I wasn't entertained by the movie. So it's that one. I didn't really like that one. I felt. What'd you say?
She's trying to be she's trying to be antagonistic.
She's trying to put me and you in the same boat.
She's just trying to get good pod material, but it won't work on me.
That's
See?
funny.
She's trying to get us
right
here, bro.
I'm crying.
I am happily married. I am not a.
She's trying to get the good pod going.
She is trying to get the smoke. I didn't like either of the Wonder Woman. I fell asleep in the second one.
The second one was terrible.
The second one was bad.
I'm glad it was free, or else I'd have been pissed.
Yeah, I was like, I wouldn't have went to the movie.
See, I feel like the things that DC gets right are the castings, but like the stories. The stories are not that great because Aquaman. I love Jason Momoa's Aquaman. Movie was garbage.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like
has so much.
I like Black Manta and Aquaman.
Black Manta was good in Aquaman.
Did you?
Yeah, I liked him too.
I like Black Manta and Aquaman.
He was probably for me. He was the best part.
Yeah.
I mean, he was only on the screen for like 5 minutes. But
Yeah, I haven't seen either of the Justice League movies, the old one or the redo.
Those was great.
No,
the Superman movies was alright.
I do not like Superman.
Zack Snyder, the Snyder Cut is amazing.
I've never liked Superman.
The Superman movie was alright, or the new iteration.
I love Henry Cavill. I don't like Superman.
You don't like his iteration of Superman.
I think his Superman is underrated.
Yeah,
I do too.
I just don't like Superman.
That mean they killed it when they had him kill Zod.
Well, again, I think that's I
just don't like Superman.
Yeah,
I can't say that Batman Superman movie that just like cemented my like Superman's ass like opinion.
Yeah,
like I've never
because Batman was beating his ass. Shout out to Batman. Batman always beating Superman's ass.
Now talk.
See, but that's the thing is like for me, like the fact that Batman's prep time can beat literally a superpowered invincible alien.
He's not invincible. That's what kryptonite is.
I mean, invincible.
But he is invincincible.
If you don't have kryptonite, this nigga's invincible.
Exactly.
That's
That's exactly why Batman has kryptonite. Because the nigga's invincible otherwise.
All I'm saying is he can beat every single body else on Earth except for one person that has
exactly.
kryptonite.
Batman's taking out the whole Justice
On a
League.
scientific
More than
level,
once.
shouldn't radioactive material from any planet be detrimental to any like organic being?
Yeah, you
I
think.
feel like we all should be living
there's no reason why I should be
like, it's
holding.
like, oh man, no, the radio.
But it does. But it's
A
just
Mars
not.
rock.
But
It's
it
just
actually
not the same?
is not the same levels because
the sun
Lex
has no power?
Luthor uses kryptonite in his suit. He dies. He's dying from kryptonite poisoning.
Okay.
It's just not as toxic.
As it is to
Yeah,
him. Okay.
yeah.
Because I was definitely
It is
like,
toxic to humans. It's just not as toxic.
Radioactive.
Let's,
That is
see,
more than
Batman
So yeah, that's
you
still
know,
that's,
like,
that is still a thing.
Because I was
Without a
like,
doubt.
wait.
So let's put a ball on this. So you think it's gonna live up to the hype?
I do.
You do think it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
live up
for
to the
sure.
hype?
I think
You
it's
as
gonna-
well.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it on Tuesday. I've convinced April to go see it. We're gonna go see it on Tuesday.
It's a 3-hour movie.
Has
though.
anybody?
And listen, everybody, fucking listen. It is a detective film.
Noir,
It is going to be slower paced than your run-of-the-mill superhero movie.
Has
So
anybody
if somebody
played-
fucking comes out and
Well,
says, I don't like it, it was
Telltale
slow
games?
paced, I'm gonna punch you in the throat.
Have you played the Telltale Batman games?
I've been trying not to watch it because I want to play it.
So I mean, it's kind of
But
like
I know
that. Like
of
you
it,
do
yeah.
Well, you
actual
gave a
detective
description
work.
earlier that was
Yeah.
really good. You said it was a mix between Seven and
And the Nolan.
it's
Batman.
very. I think that. So I think if you have those expectations, you should be fine. But if you don't like detective movies,
You're not gonna like it.
you're not gonna like it.
What's in the box?
Oh man, we gotta get to reading and watching. So we're gonna end this segment. But y'all know the slogan: stay colorful, peace.